Right, so I'm here today with Karl Sims, Ster. Is that your tag?
Yeah, hello.
He's a street artist and graph writer, is that right? Am I right with that?
Yeah.
And he's also one of the organisers of the Southend Jam, or the Street Jam. We thought we'd have a conversation today about the Street Art Jam. We'll do a separate one with Karl personally at a later date, but it's such an interesting topic and it's really good for Southend. I thought we'd just do one about Southend Art Jams. So anyway, talk to me about the concept of the Street Art Jam. I mean, why? It's a massive undertaking. Why would you want to do it?
Well, it's kind of a strange one, really. Like quite a few years ago, I'd say maybe 10 years ago, something like that, I saw Mr. Sens had done a mural in Southend, and I kind of thought at the time, I thought, wow, this is a mad one. Him coming to my little town, and so on the one hand, I was like really pleased. On the other hand, I was thinking, I could do art. Like, why are they shipping in people to do it in our town? So I kind of had the idea at the time that I would organise a street art festival. I went around a few people I know, Dank, and a few other people, asking if I could borrow some of their photographs to approach the council, and then I did nothing about it for years and just left it. But the vision was there. It wasn't until 4 years ago that I painted a mural in Southend that the opportunity to do the jam come, when a lady at the council asked me to put one on for her.
Oh, cool. You kind of come as a duo sometimes, don't you?
I co-produce it with Ecto. We've been painting together for over probably about 14-15 years now, and we've known each other since we were kids in sort of various different capacities.
Oh, nice. Would you say your styles are similar because you've been alongside each other, or?
I'd say there's the techniques and the general sort of feel about how we paint can be quite similar, but there's a definite difference as well. But we gel well with each other on a wall.
I think you guys complement each other with what you do, don't you? Because Steve's more IT and you're more.
Sure, it's more
hammers
just
and nails.
Yeah, I mean, I can do most things, but I can't do everything, and so working with Steve is a real godsend, really. Like, I could do the liaison, I could do the emailing, I'd have to badger my missus an awful lot to help me do it, but it's just not my natural skill set, where Steve can do it with his eyes closed.
That's why he works so well, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Superior.
Yeah.
So, about the jam. So, how do you? I mean, we've got some fantastic artwork in Southend now. Artists and non-artists are really grateful for what you've done. How do you apply, or what was the application process? How do you choose your artists? You know, is it just it's a bunch of mates, we'll get them in, or is it like we like what you've been doing? And
I think it's a number of factors, really. Some of it comes down to what's good for the jam. So we have to put aside our own faults and desires sometimes, and think actually what is good for the general public, what is good for the council, what is good for Southend. So there's that in our forefront of our mind, but also we have relationships that we've built up for years and years and years through different people within the culture, and because of that relationship, it means that we don't have to broker too hard to get them to come and paint.
I love what this guy's doing, whoever this is.
Me and Steve were saying we should do an Audi one and just go over it.
Just for the video, some guy's been putting Lidl signs up over every empty building in Southend. Whoever that is, props to you, because I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
So there's a lot of different parameters to why you choose these artists.
Yeah, so like I say, some of it's relationship based, some of it's financial, Some of it's what the genre of art that they do. Some of it's about trying to include people who are local, which is not always possible. Most of the time it is possible. It's just not always possible to give them what size wall that they would like.
Yeah. And some artists are quite specific about that.
Yeah, I mean, some people won't paint if they're not happy with their wall. Before they sign up, they'll ask us, where am I painting? What am I going to get paid, etc., etc., etc. And some people, what we can offer isn't enough for them, and that's absolutely fine. Maybe the following year we might be able to offer it to them.
Yeah.
But also we do because we have so many applications. Like we had 900, I think, last year.
Wowzers.
And there was 200 spaces.
Christ.
So
That's a hell of a difference.
you're disappointing 700 people,
Yeah.
which is a thankless task. You're always going to get a lot of hate and grief. Yeah, so what we do is we have like a selection process. I can't give away the whole secrets.
No, that's fine.
But it's done amongst a few people. It's not just any one of us who are deciding. It goes like once we sort of like sift through, we shortlist and we shortlist again, and we all basically choose together. So that's how it gets curated. We don't have a curator as such.
No, understood. What about walls? I mean, how do you get your walls to paint on? I mean, I'm sure everybody would like a 10-foot or 50-foot picture of you on the wall, like there is one in Southend.
So it's like no sort of like normal route really. It comes through all different ways. So sometimes it will come on the back of the last year's festival. Someone who lives nearby will see the wall that we've painted, and they will hear about the festival, and then they will offer us their wall.
Yeah.
Or sometimes we get people apply and fill out forms on the website, or message us and just request that their wall be done.
Yeah.
We try and keep things fairly central to Southend, purely because we want people who are travelling here particularly to feel that they're part of the event. We don't really like to put people out too far as a satellite.
Oh, you mean the artists?
The artists, yeah, but just so that they feel that they've come and they're part of something. They're not just been used and chucked out in the middle of nowhere to produce a wall.
Yeah.
We want them to feel part of the family. Which is so some walls that have been donated in the past that are a little bit further out, but are too good to let the wall go. Then because I don't paint my mural on the festival because of the amount of work that I have to do. I've painted it before or after the festival, and basically took the hit for the team, if you so to speak.
Yeah, understood. I wouldn't expect you'd be able to with the amount going on. Does there ain't many of you actually do it, is there? Like put it together.
So we have like a core, like the core is me, Steve. We pretty much do most of the forming of the event, but we work closely with Alison Dewey from the Southend Borough Council, and Visit Southend and that team as well. They pick up a lot of stuff that is really helpful, so it's not only the council backing the event with funding, they're actually in a lot of ways pretty hands-on as well, and they come up with stuff that me and Steve wouldn't necessarily come up with, being two fellas. It's got a
I love that.
Yeah, that one's killer. Yeah, that's Mr. Dio.
Yeah, that's wicked. I wasn't expecting to see that.
Yeah, that's Mr. Sens.
Yeah, he's a legend, isn't he now?
Yeah.
So, on the next jam, so is there stuff for the public to join in with, or is it more of just a viewing thing?
So we're sort of still in the phase of padding out the jam exactly what's what it's going to look like. A lot of the areas of the jam are defined. There's still a few areas that are we're not sure on yet. Previously, we did have a workshop at the Forum that went really well, and for some reason last year it was flat. There wasn't any amount of visitors to that area.
Could have been the weather. The weather wasn't the best, was
I'm
it?
just not sure. It just didn't seem to be a productive area, whereas the year before it just seemed to be such a success.
Right.
So I don't know. There's something that we're going to have to look into and figure out why wasn't there enough people there, and try and remedy it if we are doing it, that the people can join in.
Yeah. We're just in near Clarence Yard at the moment. There's a hell of a lot of street art in this area. I think a big question on everybody's lips is Jex's going this year?
Yes, it is.
Because I noticed from the last jam that there's a lot of outcry when some of the artwork went.
Yeah.
And it is the nature of the beast at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was unfortunate, but I think people will realise that how the culture operates now.
Yeah.
And it actually is a transient art form, and part of the beauty of it is that it's here today, gone tomorrow sometimes. And as much as it's lovely to see a piece last a long time, it's also something quite special that if you wasn't there at that time, you didn't see it in the flesh.
Yeah.
And it's like same reason why people go to rock concerts. You can buy the CD, but it's a whole different thing if you go there and view it. And it's the same with a street art festival. You can look at the photographs on the internet, but it's a whole different thing if you actually visually see it and be there in real life. And so it's part of the nature of it, really.
I notice there's like a hardcore strong arm of Instagrammers, which is all they do is go around photographing street art, which I think is a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, so I mean, I've had conversations with people that I've seen taking photos months after the jam, and I've noticed that they're not from around the town by their accent, and some of them have come from Holland, Germany, all
incredible.
different places. And when I've asked why are they in Southend, they've said to see the street art. So they've literally got on a plane and come to Southend to see the artwork.
That's giving me shivers.
So you couldn't really ask for much more than that, really.
So did you have any sort of figures or numbers from how many people attended the jam? Not artists, but literally members of the public.
So last year, I'm not quite sure on the stats for last year, but I know the year before, I think there was an extra footfall of 40,000 people over the weekend than the previous weekend.
Oh, that's incredible.
The previous week, that weekend, the previous year.
Yeah.
Footfall was up in the town by 40,000, so it's a big boost to local businesses.
That's incredible. That's absolutely fantastic. So on the 3 days, it's 3 days again this year, is it? I take it.
Yeah, some of the big walls will start earlier, but the actual main sort of like the main event, so to speak, will happen over the 3 days. Like the paintings will come to a finish over the weekend, and most of the public, that's when they will see what's going on.
And is there kind of a hub for visitors, or is there people handing out information leaflets, or I mean, yeah, have you run an essential area for people to visit?
Yeah, so we're going to have a HQ. We was at 21 last year. We're not going to be at 21 this year. We will be finalising where our headquarters will be in the next couple of weeks.
Right, so there will be somewhere.
Yeah.
Big question. So what's the benefit to Southend as a city to have the street art jam here?
Well, I think if you look at any culture in history that is seen to be respected and admired, arts always tack alongside that. Whenever you get brilliance, you get innovation in any society, it's usually a real opulent art scene that goes along with it, like Rome, for instance. all of the sculpture. And I think wherever you've got culture, you get a core of people start to assemble around it, and that's when things really start to move and evolve, and brilliant minds get together, and you end up with dynamic dynamic businesses and services for the town, with people who are clued up on what the people want.
An extra 40,000 people can't be bad.
Exactly that, yeah.
And I've seen people that I know that don't live around here all year round walking around to look at it. So
yeah,
it's a big pull in itself. That's for sure.
Sure. And again, this is the other good thing about it being the artwork, as sad as it is sometimes, it evolving and a new artwork getting done, is it actually still perpetuates that reason to come to Southend. Whereas if the artwork was just the same mural that lasted forever, then once you've seen it, you've seen it. And so by rolling we try and generally the big walls, we try and rotate those every 2 years. So by doing that, it means that there's a constant need to come and see what's going on.
Yeah, no, I like that. So has there been any negativity or kickback or pushback from anybody about it?
I would say no, but there's been one, I think, or maybe two negative responses to it that I can think of.
Right.
Which is brilliant when you think of how many people live in Southend. We've had 2 whingers.
Yeah.
I won't name and shame.
No, not expecting that.
But pretty much people love it. I mean, what's not to love? You get an old dilapidated looking building turned into an epic open air gallery.
Stunning, isn't it?
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of people sad to see that go.
It won't be too sad when they find out that Jex is doing a colour one over it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to put it on here?
Yeah, I'll ask Steve, but yeah, maybe. So yeah, we're getting him to go over his own work.
Oh,
again.
Nice. He's I've been following him. He's incredible.
Oh, he is a beast.
So there's rumours of a leak street in Southend.
Yeah, that's totally not true. It's going to be better than Leek Street, and it's going to be the UK's premier destination for street art and graph. We have our own version of Leek Street that's got better walls, soon to have better lighting, and yeah, it's going to be epic.
That's under development at the moment.
Hopefully, yeah.
Sounds good to me. So how do you see everything? You have a background, a constant, now and in the future. So how do you see the future evolving? I mean, it could just disappear.
Yeah, I mean, governments come and go, leaders in councils come and go. At the moment, the people who are looking after the council I couldn't ask for enough. They are mega up for art and culture. But that's not to say that people who take over in years to come, if they do, they may put an end to it. But for now,
That's clever.
we're trying to build such a good scene, such a globally respected city, that it would make it impossible for us to be counselled. Basically, it sounds like a really big dream, but I see Southend becoming the beacon for street art culture in Europe. That's where I want to take it.
Wow, that's a big claim. That's a big claim.
It's a big jam. I
like it. I mean, there's a lot of big jams out there, like Upfest and all that, but
yeah,
I mean, yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking with. I was just at Yardworks last weekend, and there was a number of people from all different jams, about 10 different jams across Europe, all there. And do you know what's really refreshing in a world that's normally fairly bitchy amongst art, sadly,
Yeah.
is all these jams were like, hey, how can we help each other? How can we together be better? And it's basically you're either for yourself or you're for the culture, and that's what you've got to decide. And all of these people for all of these jams, they all decided, you know what we're in it for is the culture, not ourselves.
Amazing.
And collectively, so we've got All Caps Jam, Rotterdam, Yardworks, Bring the Paint, Roskilde Festival, and many more of these guys from all over Europe are all linking together, and we're going to form something special. I don't quite know yet how that is going to work, but there's something brewing, that's for sure.
Sounding amazing. Have you got anything else you want to talk about from the jam, from your point of view?
I just want to say I'm so grateful every year to all of the artists that come to the jam and all the public that support us. It blows me away year on year. We have people who get on a plane from the other side of the world to come to City Jam and often pay themselves to be here and paint. And as much as we would like to pay everybody, there's 200 people plus paint at City Jam. It's just not financially viable to pay everyone. If we could, we would. But the fact that we had guys from Australia, several guys from Australia last year, and a guy from Canada, and pretty much most nations of the world, I'd say, were represented here. Most of Europe, Spain, Germany, Italy.
Fantastic.
And they're coming here because they want to, not because they're getting paid, which says a lot, I think.
It does say a lot, doesn't it? It's just building a good reputation for the area, isn't it? That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, are you still on the lookout for sponsors? Is that an ongoing thing, or is it all taken care of?
Yeah, we could always do with sponsors for sure. It's quite complicated. Quite complicated how the funding and stuff works. We kind of leave most of that up to Alison at the council, and
Right.
I know the bid support us. So some of the sponsors that have supported us so far are the bid, C2C Railway, Mark 1 Hire, PGR, and Southend bid, that would be, and Southend Borough Council. But it's really tight. If I'm honest, the funding for the jam, every year me and Steve take a pay cut to do the jam. We're usually crying in our beer come the end of it, where we're completely broke.
Dedication for you.
And broke physically
True artist.
and broke financially. We do get a small fee from the council, but it really doesn't cover what we would normally earn, even though we are very grateful for that. So if anybody can work out a way where we can be sponsored individually, or if we can be sponsored as part of the jam, just to help relieve Southend Borough Council with such a large financial burden, and their commitment is massive to us, so I'm not diminishing that at all.
Yeah.
It's just we're doing what's possible. Me and Steve could take more money, but then it would be less of a jam.
Yeah.
So we've decided to keep our fee low for the benefit of the town, but yeah, it hurts.
So where can anyone reach you if they want to, in regards to sponsorship, saying hello, whatever, any support or help they can? Where's the usual places to get hold of you?
So you can go through Southend City Jam website, which is southendcityjam.co.uk, or you can reach us through our Instagram, which is Southend City Jam Official. There is another Southend City Jam Instagram that hasn't got the official, and that's not us.
Right.
Or you can reach out to me personally through Facebook and Instagram if you need to get hold of me and you know how to get hold of me.
Okay. Any other shout outs while we're on this topic?
Obviously Andy Downs, who I'm sitting next to.
Oh, spray paint.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, absolutely. I would have been for the high jump if you hadn't said that. So Montana Cans and Global Art Supplies, they sponsor our paint every year.
Fantastic.
Give us an absolutely unbelievable deal, and Montana Spray Paint is the best spray paint on the planet. I'm not just saying that because they're our sponsors. I'm an artist, I use it, I've used it before City Jam, and it was my favourite paint to
Go
use.
to. Fantastic. When's it on?
It's every year, it's always the last weekend in August. So some years the dates slightly change,
Yeah.
but it's always the last weekend in August.
And it's from the Friday, Saturday and Sunday, is it?
From the Friday, yeah, so it goes from Friday into September, I believe, this year. I think it finishes on the 1st. Might be wrong on that, but yeah, it's the last weekend in August. And it is every year. It's basically the last weekend before the kids go back to school.
Yeah, yeah. Let's pray for the good weather for that, shall we?
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's it. I think that concludes this fantastic interview, mate. It's been brilliant.
Thanks very much.
It's nice to get it all on film, actually, to be honest with you. So, from me, thank you very much, Karl Sims. So we'll do a separate interview with Karl at a later date. And yeah, thank you very much, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it.